Take heed, humans, for the darkness nears completion. For 2 million years, my friends and I stood watch over your reality. Today, I'm the first to admit that mistakes were made. The multiverse is almost gone. Dark gods crave what's left of it, and the 9-tongued worm waits outside, smacking his throat's lips. The worst part is, the only ones doing anything about it are these horrifying monsters. Throg, the first king of Earth, bringer of storms, and annoying, drooling imbecile. Oven, mistress of Raylen, chosen queen of the people of the dead, and frequent overindulger in storm giant wine. Darrow, last torchbearer of the cursed blood, shadow-souled assassin, and worst champion of order ever chosen. And this jackass kid, Raylen, Zalio's offspring of devil and man, the prophesied herald of the end of everything. Akun Ra Zayden. My friends and I try our best to help them, but let's be honest, we're all well past our expiration dates. The Empire of Archonia would have been well equipped to save the multiverse, but the Empire's long gone. Now even its last shadows are fading. Our only hope is Shadow Chaos Deathstorm. I'm not gonna say we're completely linked, but I will say, nice knowing you.
Hello, and welcome to Shadows of Archonia. My name is Steve Boshear, and I will be your dungeon master for the evening.
Hi, Steve Boshear.
Hi, what's up, buddy? I hope you're feeling all right.
I'm better. Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. All right. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, everyone.
Well, I'm Joshua, and I'll be playing Kiergan and Raynar. Kiergan's a
Alcoholic.
clearly an alcoholic.
I mean, I change
He's
accents
not that
when
kind
I
of
get
monk.
drunk too,
It's-
so
yeah.
I
There
get it.
is that kind of monk,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Kiergan is
yeah.
not it.
Not a drunken master monk. It's a Way of Thunder monk, which actually has a little bit of cleric in there, being a Cord worshiper who's seen Cord now. And then Raynar, who is an ASMR paladin of the Watcher.
Hey, what's going on with that logo? Has it been like that the whole time? Oh, I know what I did. Never mind. Continue. I'll fix that.
Very good. Your turn to introduce without introducing.
My name is Alan.
That's it. Go on. Stop.
I was going to say, but I think we should save my introduction for
Yeah, I agree with you. I
when
agree
we
with
get
you.
in, because it's a lot.
It is.
It's just a really long name.
It's
a
really
long
long name.
Long name.
And you, mistress?
Long name.
I am Carolynn, playing Oven, the Destroyer of the Abyss.
Correct.
I'm Matt.
Matt's here also.
I'm here also.
There we go.
No! Well, maybe not no.
Okay, well,
Oh no!
You broke the beach.
I broke a bit of the beach.
our viewers will know,
I don't know if that's gonna.
if they have watched the last few episodes, that the party has been split up due to an incident involving Akun Ra absorbing the prince of all demons. everything exploded, and people were sent flying to different parts of the multiverse.
Remember that time when Dara was like, "Yeah, I'll go with you. Sounds like a great idea."
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Remember that time Darrow grabbed his hand and turned into mist? Oh boy. Anyway, since then, in our previous episode, a little bit of a recap, Oven, Raynar, Kiergan, Squeak, and through somewhat other means, Beck, found themselves in the hut of the Raven Queen on the Shadowfell. After trying to get their bearings for some time, Oven became aware that someone that she knows had died, but she was not able to figure out who, because whoever it was obscured and had not entered her realm upon his or her death. Shortly thereafter, Erathis, goddess of order, arrived. Don't do mic tapping. R.I.P. headphone users. Shortly thereafter, Erathis, goddess of order, arrived, called a meeting of the gods with Oven and Cord, because of the fact that Erathis needed a new champion, her own champion of order no longer being under her care. Due to this and other clues, Oven, Fetch, Squeak, and
Fetch is
Beck
Yeah.
have determined that Darrow must be dead. Because even Carolynn, Darrow's god, his other god besides Erathis, could not be reached for comment, was absent from the space in the cosmos which he normally takes up. So, Oven went Death Goddess mode, took the chicken hut to the abyss, and is killing everything. She blighted a tree, they killed a bunch of demons who were swearing allegiance to Akun Ra, and they stomped out of the forest into the ocean, where they saw the boy standing in the water in his new aspect. The result of having absorbed Demogorgon, his Palor medallion has gone dark. There is no light in it. Behind him, the vast, acidic, sulfuric, steaming ocean of the gaping maw. His skin crawling. He does not look up at you. And then
Is he standing or floating?
he is standing in the water. And then from behind him, standing to his own feet, you see a being glowing with light, with blades shining with divine power. Darrow is in the water, standing with Raylen. His shadow is a shadow no more, but rather a divine glowing figure flanking Raylen on the other side.
Should have painted him.
Also, you guys see a hut full of people that you know.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Darrow and Raylen in the water.
So the both of them are there?
Kiergan and Raynar are both there, as well as Oven.
How far away?
I mean, okay, real quick. How much time has passed since we left off and they arrived? Is it like
Just enough time for you guys to stand up and see the chicken hut coming out of the trees.
Man.
So they're about that far away.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted a little. I feel like when Raylan's with you, he doesn't like say anything. He doesn't make any gestures or anything like that. But he will look over at the hut like he doesn't know what that is, you know.
I don't think he does.
I don't even think Daro has really seen it like this.
I've been in the hut before.
You were in a hut.
But I.
Oh, was he?
Zaylen was the one person who went to the hut
Oh,
with
okay.
you and met Reese.
Yeah, he
Kermon.
was. Yeah.
Daro has not.
Oh, that's right. Because you were holding up the sky.
You were holding up the sky and you were down a well.
Yeah.
Well,
It
who's
was
doing
whatever.
what?
I think the first thing I'm doing is trying to carry, like, not pick up carry, but like arm over shoulder, try to walk Raylen out of the water.
He's slimy.
Mm.
It's unpleasant. When do you get under his arm?
Yeah.
When you get under his arm, you can feel things moving under his skin.
Ugh. Hate
Oh, that's
this.
pleasant.
Raylen,
Mm-hmm.
Daro has put himself under your arm to try and walk you out of the water. Are you going to go with him?
Yeah, right now he's just kind of in a daze. So,
Yeah, so did Daro.
he's just kind of going along.
Copy that.
Yeah, if he goes along with me, then I'll walk him out till we get to the
Okay.
coast. My shadow comes too, except he's like glowing now.
Yeah, he's
Shadow.
like you're something else, whatever is the opposite of a shadow.
I'm trying to remember exactly where we left off last time. So we
But
But-
the last thing that happened was the thing
oh yeah, with
that
Carolynn.
the thing with Carolynn.
Okay. Yeah, and then once I hit land, I'm gonna like fall and drop him at the same time and just like lay in the sand for a minute.
Yeah. Raylan will also lay in the sand for a minute.
My shadow stays in. He's just like, you guys suck. Come on.
You guys are tired?
You guys suck.
I didn't even do anything. I feel like I just woke up from a really long sleep.
Yeah, Raylan's gonna look around as he's laying there, just completely like not sure he is.
Give me a
He's-
history check, Raylan. Disadvantage.
Mhm. Well, not bad. 13.
15?
13.
13.
13.
Of the people here, the only one that you recognize is Daro.
Mhm.
The others, well, especially Oven, ringing a bell, but you can't connect it. You're not sure. But Daro, you know, Daro's with you.
Actually seeing the hut, and not really, because I don't know the hut. I've never.
You don't know the hut,
Yeah.
but you can
So-
see you can see them in the windows and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm like literally in the doorway.
She's
That's true. All right, then I'm just gonna lay there and let you guys come to me.
Yeah, what you guys see, in addition to the mutations on Raylen, he is also severely hurt, quite obviously, as is Daro.
Yeah, I'm not doing so
Daro
well.
not doing so well. Something happened that fucked these guys up.
We're at like, what's our current HP?
Yours is 1.
Okay.
I don't know what Daro's.
I'm at 60, but
I gotta change that for this sheet.
Yeah, got a new sheet.
I'm less than half.
The goddess is too stunned to speak.
Get back up on my position here. Doesn't work anymore.
I look up and I'm just like, how about a lift?
The boys use confusion. It's super effective.
Um,
I'm gonna motion to
Lower the hut.
yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say Fetch is doing it anyway. Let's go ahead and remove the legs.
I don't know where it separates, but
It's
oh, there it is.
the hut plants
So
itself
cool.
into the ground.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, there it is. All right. Fetch comes out,
Which
looks at you guys and
Where's
goes,
Well, Fetch
What
is
the
a bird right now.
Oh.
Fetch is, no, that's Beck.
That's Beck.
Beck is a
Oh.
bird. Let's
no,
go
I'm sorry,
ahead.
Fetch is.
We
yeah,
don't
that's
have
right.
Fetch's mini out. Let's go ahead and put Beck down, though.
Okay.
Beck has stopped birding and
Beck has stopped birding at some point
Did
on
we
the
have a
walk
fetch
here.
mini? I don't remember. I feel like we did.
Yeah,
sure. I'll take over all the animals.
Love it.
All right, do you guys approach us?
Little zoo over there.
Raynar, Kiergan.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do divine sense with Raynar.
Okay.
To see what I can kind of tell out of that. Sense anything affected by Hallow Spell, or also it doesn't actually delineate though. Divine Sense. I was hoping that it would kind of tell me whether Celestial Fiend Undead within 60 feet. It just says that I know the location of any Celestial Fiend or Undead within 60 feet.
You want to know something crazy?
What?
None of the above.
None of the above. All right, not Celestial, not Fiend or Undead.
Well, very faintly, slightly, some undead. Does it tell you how many?
It says you know the location of any.
Okay.
Yep.
There is
Within 60 feet.
There is a faint, almost like flickering on and off aura of undeath around Raylen.
Okay.
Almost as though it's not actually him, but like around him.
Okay. Then Kiergan. Is gonna. Oh, I thought it was a little more into medicine than that, but I'm not. That's okay. I think Kiergan is gonna. Oh, Kiergan's gonna go up to him.
To
Okay.
Raylen?
Yeah.
All right. Before he gets too close to me, I'm gonna cast a spell. It's gonna a large spectral guardian appears right next to me. I'm gonna cast guiding faith.
Guiding Faith?
Sorry, guardian of faith.
Guardian of Faith.
Mhm.
Okay, copy that.
So a large guardian appears next to me. Is with a glimmering sword and shield, imbued with a symbol of your deity.
Sweet.
You cast that spell, and such a guardian appears, but like yourself, it is mutated and broken.
Mhm.
And where there would be a symbol of a deity, it is instead blank. There is a faint outline as though once there was a sun symbol on there, but it's like been torn off.
Any creature hostile to you that moves to a space within 10 feet of the guardian, the first time on their turn must make a dexterity saving throw. Or
Is it Kiergan's intent to harm Raylen?
Nope.
Then you do not count as hostile.
yeah, so you just see this guardian appear in front of you.
Cool. That was a smart
And-
move.
Please roll a wild magic check.
No.
Please roll a wild magic check.
No more wild magic checks.
These guys have so much PTSD.
I'm trying to remember which dice it was
No
that I rolled
rolling
the white
Just roll a
one.
d20. Oh,
It was-
which die was
It was
last
the
time?
white one, yeah.
So you can do that again, huh?
Yeah. What's it say? I can't see.
18.
18? Okay. Well, you're up to 3 now because you set up those 2 magic surges.
And when you approach him, Raylen kind of crawls away, like towards the water, like almost like he doesn't want to be seen by you.
Actually, you're only up to 2. I must have forgotten to mark it last time.
So where's
We
the?
don't know what your last wild
Oh yeah,
magic
can I
surge
guess?
Is this-
Can I get something for the guardian?
Yeah. You know
Do you want a
what?
ghost for the guardian?
Go ahead and use.
Do you want an extra oven for the guardian?
Yeah, go ahead.
Extra oven.
An extra oven? No.
The last thing he wants is a guardian.
D4 for the guardian? No.
You know what? Use this unpainted wolf.
Okay.
Sure.
Was it
Just
like
white.
in between you and me? Was that your intent?
Yeah.
Yeah,
In between us, yeah.
I'm gonna say that was
Like
his
right there.
intent.
But it doesn't move. It
He's
just
so
stands
cute.
there.
Mhm.
Right.
Pretty cute.
Yeah, it doesn't attack because you're not hostile.
Yeah, it's not hostile to you, so until
Right.
somebody's hostile to me.
So what will you do, Kiergan?
You might want to give him a minute. He's been through a lot.
I feel like we've all been through a lot. What kind of excuse is that?
Raylen looks in the water, and I think this is gonna be the first time he sees his own face. So I almost want to do like a sanity check or something.
You can't do a sanity check because there's nothing that could happen to
Yeah.
you if you failed it
Yeah,
that would
that's
be
what I-
more than what's already happened.
Okay. So
You see yourself, and just like everything else, pain.
Raylen lets out a scream, and then stands up.
The scream is a rasping, damaged voice.
Well, I was hoping that would have turned out a little better.
And he's gonna push Carolynn away with telekinesis.
There's a save for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's strength save.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he probably is. Strength isn't exactly the best.
Yeah.
What's the DC on that?
Oh, it's
It's my spell casting, right?
yeah.
18.
Probably not.
18.
Probably isn't, but yeah, we'll say it is.
It's 18.
Okay.
Matched it, so I don't get pushed away.
Oh, you matched it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So yeah, he's just like trying to push you away, but you're resisting.
I don't.
Mm.
I mean, I was just coming to check you out, but if you really don't want us here, I guess we can pack up and leave.
Raylan, we'll figure everything out, okay? It's gonna be all right.
I've broken,
At that.
I've broken Carolyn. Everyone else ignores me. Carolyn just like, you don't hear it.
Oh, okay.
We don't know what you know,
Only Raylan
or
hears it.
knew, or thought.
Or Raylan's you see him like touching his side, like he's looking for something.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand up at this point.
You know what? Actually, Oven.
Mm-hmm.
When Raylan touches his side like he's looking for something,
Mm-hmm.
roll insight with advantage, please.
Well, I get advantage anyway as the goddess of death.
That's true.
She sees all.
I see
and
y'all.
Kiergan, you as well.
I was, what?
Insight on Raylan.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What you get?
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's 16 without rolling the dice, so.
Jeez.
How about you, bud?
27.
Insight?
Yeah.
27 insight?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did you say 27?
I said
On insight?
27.
What about you?
Insight.
If Kiergan beats you, I might have to rework this class.
I think it's 25?
It's not a class.
Okay, so you
That's just
guys,
monk.
yeah, you guys have different levels of familiarity with Raylan. But Kiergan, you are aware that Raylen had more than one personality.
Yeah. There's a lot going on with the boy.
You both, Kiergan, you feel like, especially since the creature that he merged with had two heads, it's
Yeah.
almost like he's reaching for another head that isn't there. Oven. Someone you know died.
Mhm.
Raylen is reaching for part of himself that isn't there.
By the way, when Kerrigan,
Anyone who's looking at Oven kind of sees like
I've been looking at you. Yeah.
more relief than anything else. Less confusion, more relief.
Are you okay?
I could ask you the same.
I've been better. We had a crazy time. It was
Squeak's head comes out the window. He goes, "You're not dead, huh?"
no, still here.
Oven's gonna step out of the hut and kind of take the butt of her
Murder staff.
yeah, murder staff and kind of
Poke Raylen.
poke at, well, not Raylen, poke at
Dara.
oh, you're
Darrow.
going.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
What? Okay.
Do you come within range of Raylen's guardian spirit when you do that?
What's the range of it?
10
10 feet.
No.
Well, I'm not trying to, at this
Okay.
point, I'm not trying to hurt him.
The mechanic is anyone hostile to Raylen. Not if Raylen believes you're hostile, but if you are hostile. So yeah, that's
but-
up to you, not him.
How do I take
I'm
a
not
poke?
even,
Yeah, he's
How do you what?
Poking.
Oh, yeah.
him, not-
Oh, yeah.
No.
She's
I'm
poking
poking
Dara.
Darrow, not you.
Poking Dara.
What? Stop it.
Just making sure you're solid
I was never
and flesh.
Forgot the
not
abyss
solid
lighting for a
except
second.
when I'm a shadow, I guess. But you okay?
Somebody died.
Yeah. For a little while, more than one person died.
And Carolyn's missing.
Yes. That's how one person is not dead.
At this point, Beck comes out of the hut wearing torn up ratty pants and a curtain around the top half of her. And she
What?
runs over to Raylen and looks down. Goes, what's going on?
Your boyfriend's alive.
Raylen moves away and hides behind Darrow's shadow.
You were on the ground.
Yeah,
he
but,
was
but
standing.
he
Oh, no,
crawls
he
away.
got up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
crawls away.
Oh.
Crawl
Okay,
slash.
Oh.
Oh, crawls away.
Oh, well, he's like falling and crawling at the same time.
Beck's like stammering, like Beck's lip is quivering. She's got destroyed Raylen here. She doesn't know what's going on. She's very,
like
very
he
upset.
looks, he makes a look at her like he doesn't, like he's afraid.
Let me just explain real quick. He died twice. Do I understand what happened with
You understand.
the other part of him?
Yeah, you do. Well, you don't know what happened after, but you definitely,
I know what brought him back the first time.
you know what brought him back. You know the following. When the 99 happened, you know that he could have chosen you and he chose himself.
Yes.
You also intuited that Zalios took the hit for Raylen.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. So
what's up?
As
I'm explaining this to you guys.
Well, I want to hear Carolyn's
Okay.
question.
it's not a question. As Oven is kind of hearing this, she looks over at Raylen. Says the word jackass kid. And you have 20 more points of health. Also, I rolled a 17.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. You rolled a 7?
17.
Wild magic surges are not our friend lately. The abyss is not the place where you want that to happen. That's what we've learned.
He looks at you, but he makes a face like it's like his mouth opens, but no words come out.
That's fine. I just want you less on the brink of death.
Actually, when you do that, he sees what's your familiar's name again?
Squeak?
Squeak? Squeak is not my
Not familiar
anymore.
Oh yeah, but Raylen's gonna do find familiar.
Well, let's. That takes 10 minutes to cast.
Mhm.
Let's have Daro do his explanation first. And do you have the money for find familiar? It costs 10 gold. I'm sure you have
Does it?
10. I know that the currency on your sheet wasn't accurate, but I'm sure you have 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can go ahead and.
10 minutes, but go ahead.
So yeah, explaining. So we ended up here. I don't even remember why, but there was a wild magic surge. Shit happened.
You ended up here because he ate Demogorgon.
Yes. Well, I mean, I know why we got here, or how we got here. It's just more like while we were here, things went very chaotic, very fast, and it ended up being the most intense struggle for life and death that we've ever had, at least the two of us. He died once, and Zalios took that hit. And Zalios died. Zalios is no more.
Ah, okay.
As far as I know. I don't know a lot about all these things. Then that fight was not over. We kept struggling through. He kept going down. I used everything I had. I tried so hard, but he died again. And at the end, there was Arathis and Carolynn, and the tower was coming out of the ocean, and what's his face? Stern.
Stern the Slayer, you met in the abyss last time.
He came back. Arathis decided that my belief system wasn't in alignment with her and abandoned me. And then Carolynn sacrificed his current existence in order to bring the boy back and grant us the power to destroy the tower. I didn't have to bring Raylen back. I know he's a mess, but it just didn't seem right after what he did for me to just let him die. And now we're here.
What did he do for you? Says Squeak.
He took a hit from me. I don't even know how to explain it in like non-mechanical terms.
I mean, yeah, and all Daro knows about it is what he believes that he intuited it, watching.
Yeah.
Intuited it.
Intuited it?
Intuited? I don't know. Intuited?
He turned a spell on himself that was intended for me. And now I'm different. He's different. You guys look different.
Where's Zalios?
Most of us are the same, but Raynar's your replacement.
My replacement?
For Arathis.
Yeah, we thought you were dead. See, she kind of showed up, and she said that... She didn't say you were dead. But she said someone died, and Arathis said she needed a new guy, and then Carolynn was missing. Anyway, Raynar's your replacement.
I could see... I hope that wasn't too hard on you. You look fine.
Wow, what a fishing line.
Yeah.
I'm tired, I'm wet, I'm sandy. And
sand.
I hate sand too.
and you guys have a house or a shack. This is nice.
Is Carolynn dead then?
As far as I understand the way the gods work, they never really die. They just are gone for a while, and then they come back in a new form that has to be, I don't know, rediscovered or something. I'm not an expert in any of this.
Oven turns to Fetch. Why can't we access Celios?
I feel like he never came through our domain in the first place. Elios was. Maybe it's because he was only part of a person. Or maybe it's because another god seized him. Or maybe it's because he no longer exists at all.
You see Raylen like waving his arms in the air like he's trying to talk to somebody, but he can't.
Every time Raylen moves his lips, nothing comes out.
Kiergan continues to get closer.
Mhm.
To get
Perhaps-
closer?
Yep.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
feel
Perhaps he needs a salt bath.
Salt bath.
Perhaps.
I feel it would help.
I don't know.
He has open wounds.
So I do know that he has some stuff in him still, because that was a warning that was given to me.
That was a warning. He
Yeah.
does have. That was why Stern was against bringing him back.
Yes. So I also should tell you that he still has some bit of the Demogorgon in him, and I didn't imagine it would be so much.
Explain.
Well, he absorbed the Demogorgon, and I thought we had mostly gotten rid of it, or hopefully, or when he died. And then when I wished for him to come back, it was explained to me that the Demogorgon would come with him.
You. What?
I feel like we are able to figure this out without losing him. The dude hasn't even been on a date yet.
Technically.
That's like,
He
yeah.
has.
Him? When?
I mean, he was engaged for the longest time.
Okay. He was engaged. That's true.
That's true. That's true.
You see Raylen like he doesn't even know where he is right now. Kind of look in his face.
Beck's gonna lean over to you, Dara, and go, He's never been on a date?
Well, he was almost on a date, but the woman.
He killed her.
Yes.
Oh, that makes sense. I would do that too.
Kill the woman that he went on a date with? Or.
I mean, just kill people. Sometimes you got to.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna. Sorry, real quick. I'm gonna roll insight
Go ahead.
on his state since I was the last to see him whole.
Yeah.
I guess. So I just want to see like if I can discern where Raylen is at right now. 25.
Alan, what does Darrow discern about Raylan on a 25 insight?
He's just really scared. It's like you waking up from a coma, and you realize that your leg is gone, your arm is gone, maybe an eye is gone, and you're just trying to come to grips with it.
And more than that, much of his memory is gone.
That too.
Because a good chunk of his life was lived by a part of him that doesn't exist now.
So a lot of these people talking, he doesn't know who they are. Mhm.
Yeah, and what remains is probably damaged by that part being ripped out.
Like I said, he's been through a lot. Who knows what state he's in right now and what we're gonna have to do to restore him, if it's even possible. I don't know.
Kiergan.
Yeah.
What do you-
Kiergan,
what do you
as
do?
he's getting closer.
Yeah.
He sees.
You've had plenty of time to reach him by now.
He keeps moving away.
Do you keep moving away?
Well, yeah,
We've been doing it just a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh, I
he
can't
keeps- he
tell.
keeps-
Just on the board.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, he keeps like moving away and like
And-
going behind the shadow and going behind his specter.
So Kiergan says, "You don't have to be afraid of me, boy. I'm here to help. Take care of you." And he casts Healing Word with that,
Okay, how
which
much?
is a thing he can do now. 8 points. That's the best that he could do.
First for Kiergan.
Yep. It's a 7.
See that, you're at 2.
Can I try it? Has it been long enough for the familiar?
Probably not, but we'll say it has. Yeah. What kind of familiar do you want to summon?
I feel like it's gonna be your choice. Based on like
Oh, I like your choices. They're like tall and
Oven's gonna kind of look at Raylan again and say, Raylan, 27. Additional.
27 health.
Nice.
Everyone's
Jeez.
healing Raylan. I like
that
it.
you guys are making it
What
harder
spell
if we
was
have
that?
to kill him. Just kidding.
Yep.
Was that a spell?
Oh yeah.
And you did a spell too.
I did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He
I
rolled for it
rolled.
already.
And my spell for
6.
the 5 familiar.
6.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're about to do that too.
I just rolled a 20.
Nice.
You rolled
No,
20?
I wasted 2 20s on that.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh gosh, I can't wait for you guys to watch what happens. So Alan, you're up to 3.
So,
Okay, so the familiar.
yeah. Something.
You guys watching, as Raylan backs away from Kiergan this whole time, people keep throwing healing at him. He's just been doing this weird spell stuff. A snake appears.
Fluffy.
Exactly. Your snake, Fluffy, appears over Raylan's shoulder and is now his familiar.
Can
Fluffy was such a good boy.
Raylan attempt to talk through the familiar or
No, because Fluffy can't talk.
oh yeah.
2 characters named Fluffy in this campaign, by the way.
3.
Wait, who's the third?
Oh no. Yeah, you're right. Just 2. I was thinking that we had another.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
No, you can't talk through the familiar because the familiar can't talk either.
I'm glad you clarified that though, because I thought
Not
it was the
even in
same
the
Fluffy.
presence of the goddess of death.
No, your familiar was able to talk in your presence, but that's different.
What if I touch the familiar
can I
with
solve?
tongues?
Well,
Tongues.
Kiergan can understand any language, so if it can speak at all,
It's like the spell grants a creature you touch with the ability to understand
Parcel
any
tongue.
spoken language. Here's one more. It's when
You
the
know
target
what?
speaks, any
Monk,
creature
man.
knows.
I don't know if this is as the spell was intended, but it does not contain a requirement that the creature have any sort of intelligence or already have the ability to speak. It doesn't say that. So yeah, any creature that knows at least one language and can hear the target understands what it says.
yeah.
So it's not that the snake can speak now. It still makes snake sounds, but the rest of you can understand it. And it can understand you. And Raylan has telepathy with the snake by virtue of the Find
Yep.
Familiar spell in the first place.
She got 10 on that.
So why don't you tell me what's it? Oh, for the wild magic?
Yeah.
Oh, we already did that. We got an
No,
nat 20
for
For
tongues.
tongues.
For the
The tongues.
tunnels.
Yeah, oh, thank you. Why don't you tell me what you'd like to communicate through the snake?
Like exactly what he says, or like the general gist.
Yeah, well, what is Raylan sending to Fluffy at this point?
He's sending him Where's my brother? Where's my brother? Where's my brother? Where's my brother?
The snake just is constantly going. And you guys understand where is my brother from the sound of the snake's hiss.
Oh,
And he kind of just is still looking around.
I'm gonna walk up to you, and I'm gonna put a hand on your shoulder, even though it's like gross. And I'm gonna look you like dead in the eyes.
My dead eyes.
Your dead eyes.
Wording.
He, if you're referring to Zalios, he didn't make it. You're all that's left now.
Raylen just collapses to both of his knees.
I'm gonna catch or make sure he doesn't fall at least.
Kieran's gonna seize the opportunity to get up to him too.
Okay. I think we need a rest. Is that hut safe?
Yeah.
Love it.
And Avin steps aside to.
Well, a poisonous snake did appear out of the hut at one point.
Technically, it did not appear out of the hut. It
appeared
appeared
with-
out of my wand.
I guess I wasn't looking.
Kieran, you want to give me a hand and help me carry him in?
Yeah, and as Kieran reaches and helps underneath his arm, he casts protection from evil and good. Don't know if it'll help.
On Raylen himself?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Interesting.
Creature, until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch, which whether you're willing or not, I don't know, but I'm hoping that you don't notice, is protected against aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead. And you have
Fiends.
they would have disadvantage on attack rolls. Target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. If a target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed, the target has advantage on any new saving throws against the relevant effect. Don't know if it'll do any good. Don't care. Feel like it might be relevant. So you have that on you.
Demogorgon's voice silences
I got a 19.
when
I got a
Kiergan
19.
touches you. 19, thank you. Demogorgon's voice silences when Kiergan touches you. Whatever is left of Raylen's mind is now his own.
For 10 minutes.
You have your own personality. You are missing your memories, and you are missing Zalios, but Demogorgon is silent. And some of the mutation walks back a little bit.
Good. Okay.
I see what you did. Smart.
We're gonna take care of you, boy. I take care of you.
You just see, he's like half conscious right now. He's still in shock, but he does give out like a little like nod, and just kind of closes his eyes like he wants to fall asleep.
So yeah, we'll carry him in.
Are you going to let Beck approach you?
Well, I feel like whenever he sees Beck, he's gonna try to turn away, like
Okay.
Shame.
Hiding.
shame. Yeah, Phantom of the Opera kind of stuff.
Don't look at me, I'm a monster.
Yeah.
That's working for her.
She's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
If you haven't figured it out already.
Squeak is going to say, is nobody going to mention all the demons we fought that were swearing allegiance to him?
Oh yeah, no, that was awful.
What? Yeah, what have you guys been up to?
The demons of the abyss
Yeah.
have sworn allegiance to Akun Ra.
All the more reason to make sure he's on our side.
Raynar,
Not really where I was
Yeah.
roll
going with
a religion check, please.
I'd love to.
that. Law and order system.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. That was amazing timing. It went off right when I got to.
The tab closed?
I got it. 17 plus 6. Oh yeah. So that's 23.
Raynar, by the way, this hasn't been on the stream yet, I think, but let's put Raynar's art up there.
Oh yeah.
We've got new Daro and new Raylen today, but we've got new art for Raynar. It should have been in the last episode, but I didn't think about it.
Raynar's standing in the doorway, so we'll see whether Raynar lets him get in or not.
Forget you're playing 2 characters, and it's throwing me off still.
It's throwing me off too. Just kidding.
So that's what Raynar looks like. Raynar,
Yeah.
on that, as Squeak asks about this this thing, why these demons were swearing allegiance, you understand demons a little bit more than most other people here.
Mhm.
Mostly because you understand devils.
Mm-hmm.
And
There
you
go.
know the difference between a demon and a devil.
Mm-hmm.
Demons are, or were, the embodiment of all chaos. The idea that a demon could swear something and it would be the truth is automatically suspect.
Yep.
So that's what you know.
Yeah.
Demons, even in the old days, demons didn't swear allegiance to demon lords unless they were going to die otherwise.
It's really more of a cower under the power, maybe, but
Exactly.
But not.
Yeah.
But
Not like with devils where there's a hierarchy and a structure and they know who they serve.
right.
They might be planning to betray, but until then it's rigid. With demons, it's like, yeah, cower under the power, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
That's a funny saying.
Hmm.
I'm gonna turn to you as I'm carrying him in. Is there a place
Okay.
we could put him?
Hmm?
Like a bed or something?
There's a kettle.
A what?
There's a kettle.
You'd put him in the kettle?
Yes.
That kettle is full of salt, says Beck. I don't like the kettle.
The kettle brought you back.
Okay, that's what the old lady said. And Fetch is like, I'm not old. I'm your goddess.
Were.
No, we still are. That was the whole point of the plan. We're all the goddess.
Wait, what?
Oh, I'm Fetch.
I
I was the Raven Queen before she was.
I figured that part out.
Yeah,
But
you remember? Did you meet the old witch lady?
yes.
Yeah, that was my mom, sort of. She was also the Raven Queen. There's 3 of us now. We're going to conquer something. I don't really understand the plan, but I know that we're all the Raven Queen. And I put your ass in the kettle because you were dead and it brings people back to life.
Let's put him in the kettle.
I mean, Raylan's just like halfway unconscious right now, so he's just under your whim of whatever you're gonna do.
Great.
Raylan's not. Beck is against us. Beck has placed herself between Raylan and the rest of you. Raylan is not dead.
Okay.
Zalios is, though.
Do we want to bring him back?
Do we want to bring him back?
I don't know.
It just Radar really echoes with that.
I mean, the thing we really want to get rid of is Demogorgon.
Right.
Yeah.
Zalios wasn't so bad.
Demogorgon, also currently dead. You want to put him in the kettle?
That's true.
That's valid. I'm glad you guys know all this stuff because I'm just here to like kill things and hopefully just bad things now. But
By the way, I like the new glowy thing.
thanks. I don't know how it's gonna affect my sneakiness, but
You're not gonna be sneaky anymore.
okay. Yeah, I just figured that.
To be fair, I can't remember the last time I saw you sneak anywhere.
Got a point.
Yeah, valid.
I mean, we've only fought together a couple times, but still.
I can't. I mean, you're.
Anyway, there's old curtains that you can put them on, I guess.
Okay. We'll make you comfortable.
We won't put you in the
There's
kettle.
probably a cot, a rancid old witch cot.
Yeah. I mean, he's not the cleanest thing right now anyway,
There's
so.
also a kettle.
So yeah, we
A
give
little
you
bit more chaotic than neutral. I'm sorry.
basically give you a dog bed.
Okay, he just kind of lays there, and he's just still in shock. That's all.
So what do we do now? Where are we at with everything?
Back to the Shadowfell?
Does the whole hut just go?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus. This is a cool little house you got.
Well, it's not so much the house as it is me.
Oh, well,
So
you're cool too.
Are you just doing that,
Well, I'm asking.
or you're asking?
So, I got a question.
Who's talking?
You and Fetch, Raynar, because there's no accent as opposed to
Oh.
who the heck.
As opposed
Perhaps
to
you should
no
move
accent
over.
or every
Perhaps you
accent.
should move over to the Raynar side
Sorry.
of your.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can control it.
This is fantastic.
I'm like mid.
So,
mid-clap.
banishment is a thing,
Yes.
right? What are the chances that I can banish Demogorgon and not him?
So
Is Demogorgon part of him now?
whether or not there's a chance, I don't know if we want Demogorgon out there.
But if he's out, I almost slipped into Throg voice, and you know, we can kill him.
No, that's why you were going to talk.
Yeah. I almost said we can kill him. Yeah, nope.
Further over.
All right. Anyway,
You're not wrong. I mean, it's a good idea. I don't know enough about any of this to.
I mean, that's why I'm asking the resident goddesses, Fetch and you, Oven. What are your thoughts? Because I don't know. I just know that I've banished a lot of things in my lifetime. Lifetimes. Don't worry.
Banishment will not work unless you have a target to hit with it. If you cast it at Raylen, this is Fetch speaking.
Yeah.
If you cast it at Raylen, it will banish Raylen. Demogorgon currently is not even a conscious voice in him. It is fully merged with his person. Oven, just clap. You guys are back in the shadow. What?
Oh wait, the Shadowfell's back.
Yeah.
That why? This is how we have the hut.
By the way,
That makes sense. Okay, I'm catching up. It's been a long day.
My best idea is this. It may be possible if we concentrate together to pull Demogorgon back out. As the hut appears in the Shadowfell, there is just at the last second before the portal closes behind you, the hut's walking through it, just at the last second, there's a violent shaking on the side of the portal you just left. And as it closes, there's just some sort of violent eruption in the abyss that you can't see anymore.
Ooh.
What was that?
Earthquake.
Was it?
Plain earthquake.
Is it Okay, is that normal?
Mm. Honestly, I don't even know what it was. I'm just talking.
It was definitely a plane quake or something.
I knew that.
I feel like we might need someone who's. I mean, I've been around a while. And I've been on a lot of different planes of existence, but it was never really the thing that I studied. I feel like we might need someone who actually studies multiversal mechanics and understands the theory behind it.
Rod.
Did he survive?
Well, if not, Shadowfellow is back. We can go back to where I had started going.
Find him.
Well, he wasn't in the castle when I went there.
Oh, that's true. Want to see if he's on this plane?
Now already ahead of you.
All right.
Are you scrying?
I am.
Go ahead and roll a
It is
wild
my
magic check.
last 5th level. Oh, stop it now.
Fifth
What
level.
are you gonna do?
Which is, I mean, it's big for paladins. So.
Raynar is going to scry to see if Rod
Yep.
is in the shadow.
You got a 10.
You did not trigger a wild magic surge.
We're getting close though, huh?
Rod is not in the Shadowfell.
He's not here.
Wasn't he gonna visit himself or some weird, stupid thing? That doesn't make sense.
What? That's the squeak voice. What?
I thought he was talking to himself in a different universe.
When he opened the portal for us to go fight Demogorgon on the rock in the Astral Sea, he said he was going to bed.
Oh, maybe he's back at the castle.
Are you talking about when he brought his previous self back from non-existence?
Yes.
That already happened. That's over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how this stuff works.
Yeah, remember when old Rod stepped out of a portal and merged with young Rod, and now they're
That's
both
right.
old Rod?
Got it.
Yeah. Then he started talking about how the balance is bullshit and there's no such thing.
Got it.
Tell that to Arathis.
I did.
Oh, is that why?
Well, now I see why. What happened there.
Yeah.
You had me worried.
Fetch
I'm
is
sorry.
like, Arathis wasn't super balancy. Arathis was more do things my way-y.
Yeah. She's more law and order, and everything has to be in its place, and there should be no chaos.
But then you wanted to bring Raylen back from the dead, and is that why you guys broke up? Or
Yeah. Well, it's a bit complicated. I feel like the extreme version of law and order is absence of choice and chaos, and she felt differently.
No, she agrees with you. She just thinks that's good.
What's good?
Absence of choice.
Yeah.
She's pro absence of choice.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah. So bad fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Interesting.
What? Wait, is that what they meant by "you're the new me"?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good luck with that.
She did the champion thing.
It's a bad breakup, so
Yeah.
good luck.
So me and Kieran, this is a squeak now. Me and Kiergan and Raynar we're like the new Shadow Chaos Deathstorm.
We haven't come up with a name yet.
I'm obviously Death, right?
No,
Right, and Kiergan's obviously Storm.
no. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Raylan's
Still chaos.
Still chaos.
Less
maybe
chaos?
we're just Shadow Deathstorm. Which one are you?
Well, there's no
Are you?
shadow.
Is Raynar
so-
Shadow? Raynar, are you Shadow? Can you be shadowy?
Can I close his beak?
I'm pretty sure I can't.
I'm pretty sure that makes you the shadow.
But I'm Death.
No, I'm death.
But in the band, we don't get to be in the band.
No.
What the hell is the point of this gig?
Well, it would
Stabbing
have-
things.
It would have to be light chaos, Death Storm, and
I'm gonna let go of the beak.
or order chaos. No, law chaos. I don't know. I'm not good at this. This is
Where's
not
the
my-
chaos coming from? There's no chaos. There's like law
there's
and
no-
storm,
Raylan's the chaos.
but he's not.
He is.
He is
He's
still.
got Demogorgon in him.
He is still
He's
chaos.
more chaosy than ever.
Oh, I guess.
Also, he's not all there,
He's,
so he's
kind of
definitely
quiet too.
No,
Well,
I'll keep
hopefully
it
he's
down.
asleep. Are you asleep?
He's like half awake.
Okay.
He's just
I'm gonna cast Calm Emotions.
on me.
Yeah.
Waltz,
Yeah, please
but
do.
it's not. Shut.
Yay.
And you know what? I have 7. Hopefully.
You're okay.
Okay. I forgot what number I'm at.
You're at
But
6
it's
now.
okay.
What is-
We're not in the abyss
Um,
anymore.
What does that do?
That
Uh,
actually wasn't part of it.
It was him, wasn't it?
Your save is a
was
17 charisma if you save it.
No.
Okay.
And what does it do exactly?
You can.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you can choose to fail. You could choose one of the following 2 effects. You can suppress any effect caused to the target by charmed or frightened. I actually didn't know that, which is great. Or you can make a target indifferent about creatures of your choice that are hostile toward it. So there really is no hostile creatures, but I'm making you even less. Like you don't feel like there's any threat in this room.
The Raylen sends the snake familiar towards you, and how can he ask this?
I can't get. Just kidding.
Yeah.
No,
You leave Fluffy alone.
can he speak through the snake like several words? Yeah.
No. Wait, how long does tongues last?
I think it lasts a while. Let me see.
One what?
Let me see.
If it lasts like an
1
hour,
hour. 1
1
hour.
hour, yeah, then you still can.
Okay.
One boon of planar travel is how long it lasts.
Dara says, no, the snake, Fluffy, is that the name of the
Yes.
snake?
Yeah.
Snake says, Dad?
I don't know how to answer that. I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm gonna just like pat the snake on the head.
Can you help me find my brother?
We can look.
You are now that you have all these spells on you, making you not afraid of the people in the room. Beck is gonna sit next to you and just hold you.
Oh,
That's an
Oh.
aura of courage. You can't be frightened.
Uh,
There's all kinds of things.
yeah.
Uh,
I got sanctuary. I can keep.
Yeah,
Got 2 paladins now.
Yeah.
that's right.
One of them actually has like more than a few paladin levels.
Yeah. I'm only like a half paladin.
Yeah.
I'm a 3rd paladin.
Raylen will try to remember.
Tiny
Can he remember how he used to look like? Like before everything?
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
In the meantime, the hut is going towards the gate.
Copy that.
I'm wet and gross, but can I give you a hug?
It's gonna
It's just
be
water.
It's salt water and sand.
It's sulfur.
Sure.
That's gonna be
I'm
an
gonna give you a big hug.
What's that?
11.
In
I
trying
don't
to
know
remember
why
what
I
you
would
used to look
mind.
like, you find that the memory is too painful and you suppress it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so he's like as Beck is holding him, you see he's trying to remember something, but he can't. He's like holding his head and he's like this. Just distressed.
She starts
Mhm.
on your hair.
Again, he's like he's just slightly looking away from her, like it's like taking care of those
Like
people-
abused animals.
yeah, abuse animals, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's all he's gonna do now. He's just gonna sit there and contemplate, trying to remember things.
There's no bath in here, right?
No bats?
Bath?
Bath. There's no bath in here.
There's a kettle.
This is the hut of a filthy
Salt
swamp witch.
I don't know. Am I allowed to get in the kettle? Is there water in it, or is it just salt?
It's just
It's
salt.
just salt.
You want a
So you can
salt
take a
bath?
salt bath. That's right.
If you need a
Very
salt scrub,
exfoliating.
some Epsom salts perhaps to help.
I mean, yeah, I'll wait till we get back to the castle.
Castle's exploded.
Wait, what?
We're not going to the castle.
There's no castle.
We're going to the gate.
I don't say that in game. I don't.
Becca's like, yeah, the castle blew up.
Wait, what did you guys do to the castle?
You guys all left, and then a little while later, the castle blew up.
Isn't that where Rod was sleeping?
Yeah, Rod was missing. Apparently, I died, and Fetch put me in the salt bucket, and I woke up naked in front of everybody. And then
It's a kettle.
it's sure,
First.
but according to Fetch, Rod was not there when she came and found my body.
So we don't know what caused the castle to explode.
Pretty sure
Fetch
we know.
speaks up and says, "Yeah, we do know what caused the castle to explode. It's the same thing that caused everything else to explode.
Just the end of everything.
Sad boy absorbing the demon.
Oh. Wait, more things exploded?
Everyone
Everything
everywhere got
exploded.
knocked back where it came from, except for people
Oh shit.
who were standing too near to
Me.
a deity or other great power, and they were pulled along with that power. That's probably why you went with him, because he's the demon prince of the abyss.
Okay,
He was being pulled back to where he belonged.
that makes sense.
Avin got pulled to the Shadowfell where she belonged, and then all these other people were just near her and they got pulled too.
So, in essence, everyone's kind of back where they should be.
Yeah, but the
Originally.
castle wasn't where it should be. The castle was a floating sky castle. Also, it was the place that you had portaled from when you reached the rock. So possibly a fragment of that portal was still open and the energy burst through it. A lot of things got destroyed around the multiverse. I saw many things destroyed. I do not know where Rod is.
For the very first time in this entire life of mine, I'm truly depressed. I was really looking forward to that feast.
Well,
Does Raylen remember
I
the
mean,
castle?
I could do something.
Roll a history check.
Huh?
Is there food in
Are you
there?
gonna make
15
us
or
something?
higher, you remember the
I was
castle.
thinking about doing that too.
It's like cook
Because I
us
feel
something?
like I think I have.
Yeah, I have it if you don't.
15.
You got 15?
Mhm.
You remember
I know I have the
specifically the
ability.
feast at the castle. You want that damn food.
You hear Raylen Wimple, Rimple, no,
Whimper?
Whimper.
Whimper.
and you hear his stomach growl.
I did not take it.
I got it.
Okay.
Create food and water.
Okay, roll it.
Well, no, I mean, like,
I
I
know.
literally had, like, Hero's Feast. as
You had
a-
Hero's Feast?
Yeah.
You
have
a
the
spell?
That's too bad. You
I
should-
know the spell. I have not
Tomorrow?
prepared the spell.
Oh, you haven't prepared it.
Yeah.
So are you casting create food and water?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, go
'Cause
ahead.
everybody, I'm sure is.
Wait, which
is
one of
actually
you?
hungry? 8. Oh no, that's Raynar.
Raynor, copy
Yeah,
that.
Kieran's not good enough for that. Not good enough in cleric levels for that.
I did not think so. What did you roll?
8.
8, just barely. You're up to
Just
7.
So close.
Um,
So 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water
Beck starts feeding Raylan.
in containers.
Like a bird?
No.
No.
So
Sir,
It's
not, I don't
it's
think
helping.
either of them are into that.
Really quick,
right.
is it
Yeah.
good food?
I mean, well, that is a really good question.
food and drink is
No,
like
it is
stand-
not good. It is not bad. It's bland.
Bland food.
And spoils if uneaten after 24 hours. So, but I do ask you if you were absolutely serious about the bath, like if you need to be cleaned,
I mean, I would love to rinse off at least.
great. Right over your head. There's where the water. Some of the water comes. Not all of it. Some of it.
Like a wet dog, just like clothes.
We had 2 episodes of emotional trauma, and now we're just having a water fight.
That's right. That's right. I mean, hey, if it helps, Raynar's gonna do it to himself too.
I mean, I would have preferred to
Can
be
you
like
conjure a
undressed.
broom like with a
No, I can't.
Yeah, now all the
clean
sand is off.
floor?
Sorry.
Nope. I'm sorry. Nope.
I literally just checked my inventory for spices or something. You know?
When Raylan's finished eating, Beck's gonna go through your bag, Raylan. She's gonna pull out the snake porn book and just start flipping through it for you. See if she can get a reaction.
He's like, what are you doing?
Raylan
Wow.
says,
That's hot.
"That's disgusting."
Oh.
Through the snake.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh."
The snake does not
She
appreciate
puts it back away. Beck looks disappointed.
Our first kiss was a frog.
Yeah, apparently.
So we learned.
Yeah.
Yeah, it isn't clear if she's disappointed about just not getting a reaction out of Raylan or if it's the other thing. You're not sure. But you get to the hill. And the chicken hut starts stomping up the mountain to get to where the gate is. And at the gate, you see Jack. Jack, as Yandala, her true form, grabbing onto the collar of Radomir Utgast, who is being sucked through the gate by some sort of gale force power that's pulling only on him. And Yandala is just straining, trying to hold him on this side. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Excellent.
I was gonna ask if we could take a short rest while we did that, but that's okay.
Welcome back to Shadows of Archonia. We are mere shadows of the Archonians today. Holy moly. Everybody had...
I don't know what you're talking about. We're all alive and well.
We're all alive. And
Everything's great.
We are all...
mentally.
We are all alive, except for Throck and Zalios. We're all well,
And Erie.
except for Raylan. Erie's technically still alive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Again.
She'll
I just
probably live
sent
forever.
her to her reward.
What about Camilla?
Who knows?
Camilla, unknown.
Yeah.
Unknown.
She was in the castle last we saw her.
Dun dun dun. She probably has facts.
Was she?
There's only room for one in the pot, in the kettle.
Yep.
No, Camilla didn't have bags.
That's it.
Was she in the castle?
I thought she was left. She stayed with Granda. and
Yeah, I
then-
never really picked her up.
She was one of the NPCs that reappeared when the multiverse started regrowing.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
she would have been in the castle, I believe. I don't think I ever wrote her out.
She was.
Yeah. Well, shit.
Well, here's the thing. You guys have come to the gates to the beyond in the Shadowfell. This is the gate through which souls pass on their way from life to whatever their eternal reward is. Rod is being sucked through, and Yandala, the goddess of the halflings, who you know as Jack, because you've never seen a halfling, is trying to hold him still from going through.
Real quick, how long was our journey? Like, could we have done a short rest or a long rest?
You could have done a short rest.
I'll take
I'm
it.
gonna do that.
You don't get back
I'm
slots
not
from
going to
short
need
rest,
it,
right?
but
Only warlocks do.
Yeah.
I do not need a short rest.
I'm aware that you don't need a short rest. You also don't need a long rest.
I mean,
You also don't
technically,
need food, water, or air.
technically, I do need a long rest if I'm going to do anything above a 6th level.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah. So
It didn't do it.
your chicken hut arrives at the top of the hill, and Yandala is straining with all her might to hold Rod still. But something, whatever is pulling him, is making it hard for a goddess.
Can I go ahead and close the gate? Hop out of the hut and...
Yep. You go out. You close the gate. I assume that you assist Yandala in
Yeah,
getting Rod
well, of
out of
course.
the gate before you close
Yes.
it. And then, yeah, you close the gate and you actually hear like a thump thump, as hundreds of invisible souls slam into the gates when you close it. And Rod falls to the ground. You hear one of his old ass bones break, and Yandala collapses in exhaustion.
Do we need to put you into the kettle too?
What? Oh, it's you. I take it that some sort of counteraction to a great chaotic motion of the universe tried to force us all back where we belong.
Yes.
Ah, that explains it. I died 1,000,000 years ago. Yeah.
So I don't need to put you back in the kettle.
What's the kettle?
It's a salt bath. Very soothing.
I mean, if you happen to, and at this point, Yandala just touches him and heals his body. He's like, I still need to sleep.
I was gonna let him.
Why don't you let me just do the salt bath?
Yandala has been holding me in the gateway for 2 days.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm sorry. I just joined this conversation. What happened? Why were you there?
Doro, good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
You look different.
I feel different.
Did you change divine benefactors?
How'd you know?
Diviner.
Does it show on my hips or like?
It's more around the aura.
Raylen steps out of the hut.
Oh, I see you're feeling a
Oh,
little
no.
bit better.
Raylen, what happened?
He pulled a Broxial.
He pulled in a...
Mm-hmm.
No! Rod is coming up to you. Are you gonna let him?
The spectral guardian goes in front of Raylen.
Rod is over 100 and has currently got 3 levels of exhaustion. He's leaning on his staff, hobbling up to you.
There's no way he can hurt you.
I know, but
He
the
doesn't
guardians
look like a threat.
He doesn't look like a-
This is Grandpa Rod. Just
Do I remember Rod?
Roll a history check.
Say 17 on the die.
Oh, man.
Plus 3.
You remember that Rod is the one who told you that the truth of the universe is light and good, and that evil need not exist. That's what you remember about Rod.
Okay, well,
damn, just rub it in.
Raylan still has his head down, and he kind of looks over like past the guardian as he's hobbling forward.
Yeah, and Beck is still with you.
Mhm.
Rod comes up to you and lays a hand on your head. By the way, I haven't mentioned this, but you might have noticed in the art, the mark is gone.
Yeah.
That was Zalios's and it went with him. But Rod places his hand on your head and closes his eyes and looks at you. And then he says, he's actually going to look to Doro. What happened to Zalios?
Actually, we were hoping to ask if you had seen him, like, pass by.
No.
I want my soul.
The short answer is he did something good and is no more.
The snake says, I can't find my brother.
I want my soul.
You want what?
I want my soul.
Rod is going to move his eyes down to the
What?
medallion. The Palor medallion, which has always shimmered faintly since you got it, and is now dull. Rod's going to tap on it. Palor is gone.
Gone?
He must have done something that used up the last of his power. And I sense he's not the only one.
Yeah. He's gone too.
Rod's going to look at the eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see, but this is what I think. Zelios and Raylen, both, were worshippers of Pelor. They belonged to him. They were, other than our friend Moira, the only worshippers of Pelor since their mother died. If someone took Zelios, it must have been Pelor, and he must have done it with his last strength. And if someone brought Raylen back, it looks like it was Carolynn,
It was.
and he used his last strength. Two gods of light have given themselves for this boy.
Raylan's head's just looking down on the floor.
And this boy has Demogorgon inside.
It wouldn't have been so bad if I hadn't failed.
Rod nods. And Yandala actually comes up to you now. Still looking worn out. A god with no followers. What do you mean? You failed.
He died twice. Because I couldn't stop it.
And yet he stands.
And that's why we're short two gods.
I ask you this. Did you run?
Nope.
Did you stop fighting?
Nope.
Did you give up? Then you did not fail.
You are I'm sorry.
What was that?
He says you
I
are.
said then you are Sorry.
Gotta represent there, right?
Rock's finger is there.
Yep.
Yeah,
And,
he's on me.
And Yandala says, I can't help noticing that your power is changed.
Yep.
I have known Carolynn since the dawn of the world, the first one. He does not choose paladins lightly. Just because you did not achieve your goal does not mean that you failed.
Yeah.
What?
I know that here, but it's hard to know it here, you know?
What oath did you swear when when Carolynn gave you your power?
Redemption?
In universe, you swore to stay with Raylen.
Oh, yes. Yes,
Yeah.
that one. Yes.
That's what she was asking.
Yes, I'm sorry. You meant the
She
literal.
doesn't know like subclass names.
Viewers are interested.
But yeah, viewers, I'm a redemption paladin now. Opposite vengeance.
Rewind. What oath did you swear?
I love that.
To stick with him and make sure that's under control.
You are sworn to keep him and to keep him good.
Yeah.
Well, then you have not failed until you break that oath.
It's true. I'm gonna need help. But
Dilemmas.
Need help with keeping him good?
Mm-hmm.
I still need to sleep.
I need to as well. I'm older than I look.
Are you now?
Maybe not that old, but I'm older than I look.
Well, why don't you all
Float away.
enter the hut?
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. Okay, Rod goes in and then looks around at the filthy floor, shrugs, and just curls up in a corner and goes to sleep.
Yeah, I'm
Yelling after him, deal with it.
I'm gonna sit against a wall basically near the door.
Actually, Squeak has to help Rod get down onto the ground. He's so old and creaky.
It's probably slightly cleaner where he was standing.
Yeah, you're right.
But wet.
But what? Raynar's gonna take out his bedroll off of him and throw it down.
I'm pretty sure I've had a bedroll this entire time, but I'm just so used to just sleeping on the ground at this point.
Yeah.
That it's like,
Yeah.
whatever.
It's for Rod. It's not for him.
Oh, okay.
The old man needs it.
That's true. It's been a judge.
Fetch is going to come over to you, Oven. Do you think it's time we open the gate back up?
Let's close all the doors and windows in the hut first, so that nobody accidentally.
But it was an explosion, right? It was a one-time thing, right?
One would hope. Yes.
I assuming we can't hear this conversation, right?
Hey, metal guy, Raynar?
Yeah.
Can you watch the wizard and grab him if he starts to get sucked out a window?
Yeah.
All right, let's open the gates.
Raynar grabs a hold of Rod's ankle.
Rod,
they both get sucked
Rod
out.
wakes up and looks down. You open the gate. You feel the release of pressure as the countless souls of the dead begin passing through again. There is no extra force grabbing Rod. It looks like whatever it was cut off when you closed the gate.
Is Jack staying with us?
She hasn't left yet.
Cool. I didn't know if she came in with the.
Oh, she did come in the hut.
Okay.
Where are all of these dead souls coming from? The world is still new?
Regenerating.
Well, if the world is coming back, then death is coming back. Animals hunt for food.
Oh,
People
yes.
fight over everything. It happens.
So soon, though.
Well, I think it's growing back at a much faster rate than it shrank originally.
We don't know if the world is coming back completely new, or is like all the people that were there beforehand coming back as they were.
You do not know that information.
Cool.
You do know that some people came back as they were.
Yeah.
Rod is back, obviously. He did not survive. He reappeared. Same with Camilla and Beck. Nimir came back. He since was allowed to pass on again, but he came back. Yeah, a few others. So you know some people are coming back, but you're not sure how it's working on the whole.
We'll check that out tomorrow.
You also already know that places are not necessarily the same as they were. When you went to that cavern where the Black Tower was after Broxiel took it,
The well is
there
there.
was a well.
Yeah.
You also know that the shard of pure evil that created the abyss, you two know, was missing. Because Stern told you that well in the abyss used to have a shard in it that passed through all the layers of the abyss and wasn't there now. The Black Tower supposedly was the thing that would replace the shard. But since the Black Tower finally finally was destroyed. Looks like there is no bastion of evil in the new multiverse. Evil still exists, but but it doesn't have a stronghold where it is based.
Before we go to bed, I'm gonna go over. Speaking of Bastion of Evil, I'm gonna go over to him and set up a ceremony around us and cast ceremony on him. Spend an hour casting ceremony, lay hands on him, and like sort of just bring the goodness to him.
Okay.
And try to zero out any possible evil that has grown in him that day.
So you're doing
good.
atonement?
I'm doing atonement, yeah.
Great. Roll a wild magic check.
I gotta roll the DC 20 insight.
Insight?
Yeah,
Oh,
for it
that's
to
part of the
work.
spell?
Yeah. So I need an 8
Oh.
or higher.
Damn.
Fuck, crit fail.
Can I give
Oh,
you?
I'm still practicing.
Can I give you bardic inspiration?
Can you do +7?
It's I think it's like a D12 at this level, isn't it?
Oh,
But I also have the ability to just make it whatever number I want, right?
No, you give him a die to roll.
Isn't there? So I'm new to Bard, but isn't there like a number I can choose?
and you can probably
If
roll
there
that as
is,
well.
it's a spirits bard
Yeah,
thing, and I don't remember about it.
It's a
But like the
spirit-
basic bard thing is you just give him a die.
Yeah, D12
Yeah, D12. So you
Yeah.
can absolutely roll.
bardic
What do you need?
inspiration.
7 or higher.
Now I need a 7, yeah. Out of 12?
Yeah.
It's possible.
12.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're
So-
you helped.
Yeah.
So the effect of ceremony is that if a creature's alignment has been changed, this changes it back.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You were being, and this is why I pitched Daro on this oath in the first place last session. But this is, your alignment hadn't really been changed, but the
Just checking.
the in-universe effect of this is that once again, any progress Demogorgon has made in corrupting your mind is walked back. It's undone. Now, wild magic check.
Good.
Now wild magic. What am I at?
You're at 6.
5.
Oh man.
If you roll a 99, you can just go to hell. Give me that D100 check.
6,
9. No, I'm just kidding. 47.
47.
Blood rain.
Everyone you love bursts into flames.
You son of a bitch. Good
Actually,
thing I don't love anyone.
Raylen
Well.
got this one before, Zaylen got this one.
This is a
It
blood
was
one.
the first one anybody got.
The blood one.
Your clothes are wet and cannot be dried for a full day.
Hey, funny thing, they're already wet.
If you change clothes, the new clothes become wet instead.
Great. I hate being wet.
I
One
didn't do
full
that.
day.
Okay.
24 hours.
That is not me.
He was wet from the sulfur ocean. Then he was wet from destroy
Just
water.
clean water.
And now he's wet from a wild magic surge.
I'm gonna be at Raisin tomorrow.
You can use that to explain away those 20 years.
Yeah.
Wait. It's just his clothes that are wet, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
but
if he's naked, then he'll dry.
that is indeed a loophole.
I mean,
Anyway.
I mean,
there's a
yeah.
salt cauldron. It doesn't work when you have clothes on.
Is there
Hey.
like a fire in here somewhere I can just get near?
There could be.
Yeah.
There's a fireplace.
Yeah.
Great. I'm gonna get naked and sit by the fire.
Do you need
You
a
know what?
fire
There's
in
no
the fireplace?
firewood.
Do you need a fire in the fireplace?
I would love a fire in the fireplace, please. I'm cold and wet.
Cold and wet, and you watched your surrogate son get eaten alive by imps.
Yes.
Produce flame.
You will not dry, but you can at least warm up.
I'm naked, so I am.
There you go.
I will dry.
I'm gonna toss your wet clothes into
Do-
the fire. See if that does it.
Just put the fire out.
Yeah, they put the fire out because they can't be dried.
Would you try to burn my clothes? You want me to stay naked? I'll stay naked. You can just ask.
All right. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Are we
For that
doing a long
ritual?
rest?
Long rest, right?
If you guys want to.
I would love.
Yeah, long rest.
Fantastic. In that case,
Oh. Okay.
I'm going to
Yeah,
do
so
some
everyone go ahead.
preparations.
Take a long rest.
The whole list of like the things that get recovered from D&D Beyond is like everything I have.
Yep, you have spent all your
Yeah,
resources.
like all my abilities, all my
no
skills, like everything.
everything.
Spell slot.
Trying just trying to keep that from happening.
I actually had one more level 1 spell slot after that ceremony, and that was it. And it's like the last thing I had.
There.
Oof,
I have now prepared Hero's Feast.
awesome.
And disintegrate.
Disintegrate.
So
Just in case.
you guys spend an uninterrupted night in the Shadowfell by the gates of death in a chicken house.
Can
In
we
one
hear all the
room-
spirits going by? Does it sound like a river or anything?
No,
White
I mean
noise?
there's like with the gates, there's always like a representative number of people that you can actually see.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just, untold numbers of spirits going through. Less so now, as has been pointed out, the universe is much smaller than it used to be. But
Yeah.
but yeah, you can see and hear people, but it's not like a train going by or anything.
Not like the Aurora Borealis or something.
No. And yeah, the hut's pretty crowded because there's 5 of you. There's Beck, there's Yandala, Rod, Squeak.
I mean, technically, would the queens be outside by the gate?
You don't have to be.
But we could be.
If you want to be, you can get your long rest out there.
Bunch of
I will.
queens.
I will do it.
All right. I'm gonna say that since you are the currently serving Raven Queen,
Mhm.
when you go stand by the gate, you take on the aspect that Fetch had your whole life of the giant being in the sky looming over everything, looking down across the Shadowfell. Yes, that one. Boom.
As I prepare my Hero's Feast.
Where are you? We didn't even do a Shadowfell set, so this still looks like the Abyss, but there you are. Yeah, and you can get your long rest doing that. That's no problem. That is where the Raven Queen rests.
Cool. When
See-
I
Yeah.
was gonna ask when I wake up, I want to ask something about Frodaro, but
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess as we're waking up, you'll see like the snake like next to you. It was like sleeping next to you.
You'll have to cast tongues again because it's been more than an hour.
Oh yeah,
If the snake wants to talk.
yeah. And the snake says to you, "Can you help me talk again?"
Ugh. I'm not sure. I don't know why you can't talk.
And the snake slithers away and slithers back and it kind of brings like a notebook, and it has like spell instructions on it, and he's asking for ingredients if you might have them.
What ingredient? What
yeah.
spell? Well, what ingredients? Read us the list.
Diamond dust worth at least 100 gold pieces.
Okay.
But somebody's wishing they picked up Rock's bag.
I have the gold for it, but I wouldn't have that on me.
No, you wouldn't have the diamond dust.
We can look for it. I'm sure we can find some. Alvin might have some. Hey, Alvin.
No, she's in the
Oh, yeah,
sky.
that's right. She's outside.
She's in the
big.
sky right now. Hey,
Instead of the moon, you see a big oven's face.
the snake will like point its tail towards Raynar and Kieran.
Oh.
And ask maybe they might have.
Hey boys,
Yeah.
you awake? Oh, I'm still naked. I'm just sitting there
Oh, yeah.
naked.
Yeah, they're both awake.
Okay. You guys wouldn't happen to have any diamond dust, would you? Beck?
No, I
Anybody?
think so. Let me just double check, but I don't think so.
Also, sorry, another ingredient is holy water.
I can make holy water.
Check your messages.
Check
Discord.
what? Okay.
How much holy water do you need?
Like enough to feel like a little
Little cup.
cup.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Um,
Is there water in here?
Your
there's still
clothes
water.
are soaked
Yeah.
in it.
Oh,
There's still water. For
Yeah, there's
24
Bring
hours.
them out.
The water doesn't go bad.
There's water. Yeah,
okay.
water. Yeah.
All right. Well, then I collect a bunch of water into just some dirty mug I found nearby, and I'm gonna spend an hour casting blessed water.
Okay. So I'll need
another
a wild
Simon.
magic surge from Alan for the tongues on the snake, which
Yeah.
you would have had to recast this morning, and another one for you for blessed water.
16.
Is that gonna be enough?
I'm not sure. He said about this much.
Not that much. Okay.
sorry.
You're up to 8 now.
I just lost. I failed one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you crazy. Okay. You're at 1.
Just thinking if you needed more, I could help, but I don't know.
So wild magic. 10.
Okay. You're good.
So you don't have the gold, right?
I have the gold. I just don't have diamond.
Yeah, so the way I'm ruling this is when you guys cast your own spells, I allow you to just spend the gold and we just retcon that you bought that thing at some point. But it doesn't make sense for Daro to have bought
Yeah, I wouldn't have
diamond
it.
dust. So even though he has the gold, you can't use it to cast the spell.
Yeah. Well, sure. That's why I said
Yeah.
maybe they might help us find the diamond.
Actually,
dust.
I just spent 50 gold on those ceremony spells.
But you do have holy water, right?
Yes, I just made you some holy
Alright,
water.
well, I'm gonna attempt to do a spell to
Okay.
maybe help fix me a little bit. And spell, it's spell level 7.
Yeah.
Regenerate. Touch a creature, and it regains 4d8 plus 15 points for the duration. Regains 1 hit point at the start of his turn. The target's severed body members, fingers, legs, tails, and so on, if any, are restored after 2 minutes.
Yeah. You're not missing any body parts, but the ones you have are severely mutated. I'm going to say that over the course of the next 2 minutes, that mutation, it doesn't go away. But especially the arm that's still like giant tentacle-y mass, that one kind of turns back to a normal arm. But your skin is still all fucked up. Now, wild magic check.
Can he talk?
Does it regenerate my talking?
No.
6.
I'm going to say that it doesn't because your inability to talk is psychological.
So it doesn't regenerate psyche or anything like that. Okay.
No.
All right. Maybe the diamond dust spell might work. But
That one seems more likely.
we have to find diamond dust first.
Is that so? What actually has happened to him?
I'm not sure.
Are you
Um,
speaking in character?
Yeah.
Which one?
Raynar. What's actually happened to him? What
I'm not an expert in medicine or arcana, and I couldn't tell you either way.
Yandala, who has rested from her own exertion holding a rod in the gate, is an expert in all of those things.
Great.
She, having been speaking with you guys during the night and the morning, she's kind of up to speed on what you guys saw happen. She says, most of us met Raylen and Zelios as though they were two different people. But we know the truth is that he never was two people. He was one person broken in two, and both of those people were functional only because they still had their other half somewhere inside them. Raylen is half of a soul. The real person is and always was Zaylen. Without Zelios, there can be no Zaylen. Just like if Raylen had died and Zelios had lived, there could be no full functional person just from Zelios. We're looking at someone torn in half, and on top of it, he is possessed by whatever remnants of Demogorgon still exist.
So it's not a magical thing wrong with him.
Yeah, not really a magical effect.
It took magic to do it, but no, he is not currently under a spell. He is damaged. It is that simple. Obviously, some of that damage has been physical, and maybe we can undo that over time.
Like get rid of all the gooiness and stuff.
Just the gooiness in particular is what I mean, but it is possible that he will make progress. When someone is hurt in their mind, it is not hopeless. It just requires a different kind of care than someone who is hurt in their body.
Got it.
We must care for Raylen as we would care for a sick or injured person, because that's what he is.
Yeah, the whole time as you're talking, like the snake is like present, but Raylan's kind of like off to the side, just like this.
Yeah, and I assume you're listening through the snake.
Yeah, listening to the snake. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Beck is with you still.
Mm-hmm.
Beck has kind of appointed herself your like primary caregiver. She's like feeding you when you eat, and she's wiping you when you're slimy.
Thought that was gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah, well.
So we should probably take him somewhere quiet, settle down, and help him recover with time and care.
That certainly seems like the best idea. At this point, Rod has finally woken up. He's gone from 3 levels of exhaustion to 2. And he sits up. He's just kind of hunched over. He's like, oh, there's one problem with that plan.
What?
You can't take him somewhere quiet and settle down and rest. He's Akun Ra. Any place he goes stops being quiet and restful.
It's been true so far. Well, we did have our castle. Sad to lose that.
Well, even the castle got attacked by flying undead that one time. Remember when we figured out that if you banish someone inside a falling castle, he reappears back where he was when the castle was falling up there?
Does Raylan remember that moment?
Roll a history check. I'll give you advantage on this one.
Okay. Yeah, 15, 16, 18. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that.
The snake like does like a snake laugh.
Whatever a snake laugh is.
sounds like a snake laugh, man. I don't know.
If you're watching on Twitch, you can find it in the.
Yeah, please Google snake laugh. I hope that doesn't turn up anything
Don't do
horrible.
that.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't do that.
You know, shouldn't just recommend random Google searches to
No.
people on the internet. Yeah, that's where we're at.
Is it all done? Like, did we win?
Fetch, actually no, Squeak is gonna say this.
Fuck you, Squeak. Just kidding.
And fuck you too. Anyway, remember when we were leaving the abyss?
Yep.
Did anyone else feel like it kind of blew up after we left?
Yeah, I was hoping it just blew up like the castle did.
But that was a very specific thing that Zaylen did that made that first explosion.
Okay.
What happened? Anybody?
Rod, you're a diviner, right? Any insight?
Fetch says, yeah, as a matter of fact, this is the whole reason we came looking for Rod.
That's true.
Rod says, well, Darrow, from what you've said, when you and Zaylen arrived in the abyss, there were no other beings of any kind present. Is that correct?
Yes, assuming that Stern was gone.
Well, you said Stern arrived later,
Yeah. Oh, when we arrived there, yes, there was nothing.
and there were no other demons. And yet, Oven and Squeak and Raynar, you fought demons after you arrived, so clearly other demons either were there but far away, or came into being after your arrival.
Could it have anything to do with being sucked back to the correct plane of existence?
That is my exact thought.
I'm
Perhaps,
getting smarter.
in the absence,
I'm still outside.
That's true.
in the absence of Tharizdun, who is no longer within our multiverse and was the original source of the concept of evil, in the absence of him, the abyss could not generate demons on its own. But with the arrival of the new Demogorgon, it began to try. And perhaps, when the Prince of all Demons left his domain, it couldn't stand anymore. If that is true, then the shape of the multiverse has just changed yet again. Once long ago, we thought the abyss was gone. We thought there was no abyss, but then you broke it open. And then here in this new multiverse, it was...
Oven's outside.
Oh, I assumed you came in when everyone woke up.
No,
Okay.
because I've been sitting out there preparing heroes' feasts forever.
Well, but this is explicitly after the long rest.
right, but I've prepared the spell. Now I'm actually doing the spell.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get to that magic surge in a minute then.
Yeah.
So he doesn't say it to you, but says it about you, that Oven broke open the abyss and we discovered it had never been gone in the first place. It had been sealed. And then when the multiverse regrew, the abyss was part of it again. It is my theory that not only those of you who survived from the previous multiverse, but also the fabric of the cosmos itself has a sort of memory, just trying to recreate what was. But without Tharizdun, without the shard of ultimate evil, and now without Demogorgon, there is no reason for the abyss to be. I believe it may have collapsed for real this time, and if that's the case, what if the cosmos remembers? What if the cosmos now believes that something is missing? There was something missing once before, long ago, and it led to the first invasion attempt by Makthum Nagatha, the nine-tongued worm, whom Tharizdun himself served.
So are you saying we just accidentally restarted the exact problem we just finished fighting, hopefully?
Not necessarily. You see, Tharizdun was sent into the newly formed multiverse the first time to introduce the concept of evil. He was the inside man for the far realm. If we can just keep him from getting in again, him or whoever else they send, then we will avoid the problem that we had last time. However, it is in some small ways too late. We know that evil does exist. It exists within us. We are none of us flawless beings. There's a remnant of Demogorgon inside Raylen, but there is no bastion of evil. There is no Black Tower. There is no shard, and there is no Tharizdun. We must keep it that way.
We were never intending to erase evil entirely. That's impossible without getting rid of just life in general.
Yeah, we would have to start completely. I don't even know what that would look like. It may be nothing. Certainly, I believe the abyss is almost certainly gone. And if it is, it's possible that has weakened the structure of the multiverse in a way that was done once before. Possibly allowing an interloper in. These are all theoreticals. I don't know.
How will we know if something comes in?
Step one, I need to keep resting.
Okay.
Step two, those divine beings that remain, Avin, Fetch, Yandala, Cord, must keep watch on existence.
Yeah.
Are you at any point going to come in and let them know there's a feast?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to stick my head at the door and say breakfast is ready.
Like big head, or just your regular head?
You know what? Big head.
Just a big oven
Just
head.
regular head.
Oh, jeez.
Just King Kong oven.
Oh my god.
Guys!
You guys.
Beck will start trying to get you to your feet. She's going to say, the feast is outside.
I'm gonna say thank goddess and
Remember the potatoes.
mashed
Remember the
potatoes.
chicken.
Potatoes.
Raylan just slowly follows back to the table.
All right.
But, but still visibly upset.
Of course.
Yeah.
You're.
Mhm.
He put on his character sheet when he rebuilt it, Raylen the Defeated.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the name on the sheet. Raylan the Defeated.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
You guys may eat. Anyone who eats for an hour. The various.
I'll take 2.
Rod's gonna eat as well. It's not possible for him to go right back to sleep. Old though he is, he will eat and then probably go back to sleep.
Yeah, food coma.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna say the hero's feast makes it so that his last 2 levels of exhaustion will go away with one more long rest.
Yeah.
Yandala. Did you ask your question in character earlier when you asked how are people returning? Are people coming back the way they were or not? I feel like at the time you're asking that out of character.
I was asking out of character.
Okay.
I was just trying to think of the ambience.
Okay. Yeah. So Yandala is going to say, she's going to gesture towards the people that you can see walking through the gate. Many of them are human. Most of them are human. None of them are elves. None of them are halflings. Most of the humans are either naked or wearing furs.
Oh man.
And Yandala is going to say, it seems that from what I saw before I came to try and help Rod, some things are being brought back just as they were before the final collapse, and other things are starting over. My people, the halflings, who followed me for many years, don't exist and won't until I go and start them over. I'm going to go to the mortal realm and find a place for them to be, because I can no longer bear an Archonia without them. But if you need me, send for me. I leave with you my most trusted companion, who kept me alive these 1,000,000 years. And you all hear the as Greaves' 2 invisible fists slam into the ground. And then Yandala says, "Goodbye, champions. I hope this new world does better by you than the last one.
Thank you for all your help.
And thank you for yours."
Do you still want to be adopted?
No, I'm much older than you, thank you.
Worth a shot.
Never too old to be adopted.
But I'll give you one last gift. She reaches in and just throws some knives into the air, and Grieve just animates them and they spin around. And Yandala is just gone while you're all looking at the knives.
Throw one. Throw one at me.
He does.
Attack. It doesn't matter. I'll catch it.
Yeah, okay, catch it. I know what you're
That's
doing.
what I do.
You
Yeah.
try and throw it back, you can't see him.
No,
It stops.
Playing catch with daggers.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
If you remember, the way that Grieve does this is by animate objects.
Yeah.
So even if you throw it back, he just can tell it to stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Raylen, you actually feel wind brush past you at this point. And you hear Grieve's voice say,
Archon, Grieve.
Do I remember Grieve and all that stuff?
no.
I don't.
It was
Yeah.
Zalios
Yeah.
that spoke with him.
So Raylan just kind of just makes like a confused look in his eyes and just closes his eyes.
You are the champion. I remember the Dark One. You are he who holds the darkness in check.
Raylan kind of like he kind of like cowers behind Beck, like trying to hide from the voice.
You have nothing to fear from an Archon. My mistress has released me from her service. I choose now to protect you.
Do we all hear this?
Beck does, and anybody who wants to be close enough to Raylan to hear normal conversation.
Kerrigan's close.
Yep.
Always.
Raylan's still a bit scared, but he's just like looking around.
Was there a translation for the Archon Ra?
Yeah, you guys know that the word Akun Ra means Chaos Lord.
Yeah.
You know that Archon is the name of a type of being. So basically, Grieve is a lord of Archons. Archons are angelic beings that you met before, like One Eye and the ferret woman that Zaylin tried to hit on for 10 damn minutes. And
Good thing Beck doesn't know about that.
yeah.
I don't remember that.
No, you don't. That was obviously Zalios.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the translation that the party knows. I don't think Kiergan would know it.
Kiergan, but
Raynar would.
yeah, I was gonna say Raynar. Does Raynar even know Grieve? Probably not. But
Raynar probably does not know Grief personally. That
Yeah.
would be crazy.
Yeah.
But he knows what an Archon is.
Right.
The Archons were the rulers of Archonia.
Also, you know, like they're the ones fighting at the edges of the.
Yeah, the ones of them
Expanding
that are
multiverse
back
right
are
now.
fighting at the edges of reality. Yes.
Kiergan would have understood the translation, but because he understands all that, but he doesn't know what that actually is.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you guys all get your benefit from the Heroes Feast. Does anyone else
yeah.
want to do anything real quick?
Oh, I rolled a 13.
Oh, on your magic surge. Thank
Yes.
you.
Oh, what's our?
I rolled a 6 on my magic surge. Was that okay?
What was it for?
I just remember rolling a 6.
You got last time you rolled was for I think the tongue spell in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you told me that you rolled like a 7 or something, and I upped it to 6 for that.
I think he failed because he did roll a 6 recently.
Have you cast a spell since tongues?
Did you cast this morning?
You must.
It was the tongue spell.
Yeah, you would have cast tongues
That's
to
it.
make the snake talk.
Hmm.
We already resolved that.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember the number you rolled at the time, but if you rolled a 6 then it wouldn't have set it off because you got to 6 from that.
Now, question about me doing Heroes Feast. As a goddess, am I still spending that 1,000 gold?
I mean,
Okay.
yes, but you can also just make it be.
This is fantastic.
Oh, this is delicious. Oh. It tastes like 1,000 gold.
It's like 1,000 gold.
Can Avin make the dust?
She can probably do the spell.
I've honestly been waiting for him to ask.
I
know why I brought up
my
the
life. Welcome to being God and waiting for everyone to catch up.
I was supposed to ask for him, and I got distracted.
Yeah.
And you were.
I'm like, he's sitting here asking Daro for diamond dust. He's asking Raynar for diamond dust, and I'm sitting here like,
Well,
what am I, chopped liver?
he's obviously
God.
he's obviously afraid of you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Raylan
fair,
is afraid
fair.
of Oven. We've established that.
Yeah, with a mouthful of like greasy turkey. Oh, the boy is looking for diamond dust. You got any, or can you make some with your powers and things?
Can I? Yeah. Cool.
She no longer has to roll religion checks, which is how she accomplishes great deeds of divine power.
That's great.
They now just auto succeed since
man.
some things that happened last time.
Wow. Great.
Yeah. So
Giant oven palm of diamond dust.
All right.
as you guys finish the Hero's Feast,
I hold it out to the boy.
The snake probably grabs it for him.
the diamond dust giant.
She's like,
the
no,
snake
no.
doesn't have hands. Is
Yeah.
it literally
No.
just a palm full of diamond dust or a bag?
Well, however much diamond dust he needs, but it's giant oven.
Right. Okay, but I
Giant
mean,
oven?
is it in a container?
No, it's in my palm.
Okay, so the snake can't really get it.
Then Raylen will ask Beck to get it.
Beck can go get you some diamond dust.
Oven just looks at Beck like, he's gonna have to learn. I'm not gonna bite.
Is he? Because I mean, I can just get it, and then she goes back. Come on. Look at him. Are you seriously fucking with him now?
You're going to have to learn how to
Don't
trust
look
us.
at him. Come on.
Raylen starts to cry.
He's been half of a guy for like one day. Is now really the time to be like tough love?
Always is the time for tough love.
Yeah.
This is why
Get-
people
get-
stopped worshiping the Raven Queen when the management change happened.
Get a bag, then
She pulls out a bag and gets his thing and goes back to Raylan.
All right. Raylen will attempt to use the dust for to cast on himself greater restoration.
Okay. Your body again demutates a
Again.
little bit, almost back to normal. I know.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: Raylan, the character, does not
Doesn't
have
know,
the
yeah.
sheet that says Death Goddess mode and
Yeah,
can
I
read
know,
all the
I know.
things you can do.
Yeah.
but a goddess.
Yeah. Several, in fact.
Mhm.
Fetch and Yondala were here.
Could have asked any one of us if you're afraid of me.
Well, anyway, so you demutate a little bit. You do regain the power of speech, but only
What is this?
like a little bit. You can only speak in like a hoarse whisper.
Horse whisper. So like just very low speak.
Just very low, like you're afraid to speak, but you can do it now.
Okay.
What is the first thing you say?
Oh. Man, first thing.
You've been trying to cast it all morning. What did you want to say?
He's amazed it worked. The hero was too stunned.
No, Raylan's just gonna. I don't know. I think he's just gonna say, "I'm sorry," to Beck.
Why? For what?
I don't know who you are.
But that's okay, because I know who you are. So two things happen as you guys finish the Heroes Feast. You all take a level, your final level.
Wow.
Oh.
20. We made it. We made it.
I didn't make it.
All right, we're done. Okay.
I didn't make it.
Throck
I
didn't
said
make it.
two things.
Yeah. Oh. And we all lose 5 levels.
Yeah, yeah.
The second thing is another earthquake. See you next time.
Oh. Oh, like a big earthquake, little earthquake?
A violent earthquake that continues going.
Oh, shit.
Oh man.
So, yeah,
Sheesh.
Oh, shit.
we'll see how that goes when we come back. We need to talk scheduling to figure out when that's going to happen because we have trouble with it.
Level 20.
But thank you everyone for watching.
Woo.
We'll see you next time. Join the Discord. Come talk with us. And peace out.
Bye.